Okay, we're gonna start with primers, and we're gonna start with Drugstore because I just feel like that makes sense. So we're gonna start with my favorite Drugstore primer, and this is the L'Oreal Paris Visible Lift Primer in the color 100. This primer claims to instantly brighten for a radiant finish, smooths and evens your skin, and for 24-hour hydration. It's infused with nourishing oils, lightweight, and non-greasy. All of the claims are completely true. It's lightweight, it's non-greasy. I feel hydrated the whole time I'm wearing my foundation. I don't know about 24 hours because I've never had to wear my foundation 24 hours. However, it also brightens my skin and it smooths it a little bit, and I've never had a brightening and smoothing foundation primer. Usually it'll emphasize texture, so honestly, this was given to me, so I don't have a price estimate, but I will link it in the description box below, as well as everything else, so you guys know and can buy it if you'd like. And I think it's fantastic primer, and I have a lot of product, and it comes out in like a pink color, and it's also like a cream. Like, it's just you can see how illuminating it is to the hand, but it feels like a moisturizer. There's no glitter in it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Get this primer if you're looking for an illuminating primer. It's bomb. Moving on to another Drugstore primer that is illuminating, and one of my favorites would be the L'Oreal, again, Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. Now this is really, really, really intense. I love to use it for a cream highlight. I will do a swatch of this one for you guys to see it, and I didn't rub off that one yet, so you guys can still see. I'm just going to blend it into the skin a little bit, and it is this white one. It's not as smoothing as the Radiance Boost Primer, but it is extremely shinier, if you can tell. It's way more foiled, and it's a lot lighter. This comes out in a white color, and the other one comes out in a pinkish tone. So it just depends really how intense you're wanting to go with your look, but this one is more like universal, I would say, and I've had this for longer and used it a lot longer. I just really enjoy the moisturizing feel of the Visible Lift one for my dry skin. So this is the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. This is a complete dupe for the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, which I have right here. It didn't really make it into my top 5 because I would honestly prefer to use this one more. It says it increases the longevity of foundation while reducing the appearance of fine lines and pores. And I use this on my oily skin clients because I just feel like it isn't really mattifying to dry skin, but I just don't like the way it feels on my face. And I can stand the way that this primer feels on my face. I don't know why that is, but I just don't really prefer this one. I just don't. But this claims to... It doesn't have any claims on here, but it's phenomenal. Moving on to the next primer. This is the This Works Modern Natural Beauty. I don't know that this is necessarily a primer. It claims to be a mask, moisturizer, and primer all in one. It's called the In Transit Camera Close-Up. I didn't actually purchase this. I obtained it in an Ipsy, and I don't have the paperwork on it anymore. But I'm going to keep this packaging and like look it up and order it. It doesn't have any claims on the back of this one as well. It just says to be a mask, moisturizer, and primer in one. I'm literally like out of this. I barely have any left. But I always apply this underneath the illuminating primer or after my moisturizer. Like, I'll layer primers on top of this one, but this one's really thick, but it sinks into the skin really quickly. Like, when you first put it on, it'll feel heavy. But then it sinks into the skin really quickly, and it's kind of tacky, and it's just so moisturizing, and I love the smell of it. Like, it's really like clean smelling, and it almost smells like the Tarte concealer, the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, which I freaking love the smell of that. Like, it just smells so clean, you know? I'll move out of that. I need to make like a list really quick of that. Alright, and so last but not least for primers, I have the Benefit Professional Pro Balm. Minimizes the appearance of pores. It claims to be lightweight, translucent, and silky. And that's really funny because it is. It is a very, very lightweight primer. It isn't very moisturizing, so I'm glad that it doesn't claim to be, but I really like the way this smells as well, because I'm weird. This is a great primer. It's one of my favorites. It's very pore filling and it's not a silicone. I mean, it feels kind of silicone-y, but it's not a silicone. It's oil free, fantastic if you have a lot of problematic skin with like acne or texture. This will be great for you. This is a lifesaver. I've seen it smooth out some very, very deep things, and I always use it on my older aged clients to smoothen their fine lines. And that is it for the primers. So those are all of my favorite primers, and they're the primers that I use daily. I don't really use actually very many other primers. I'm going to start with the L'Oreal Paris 24-Hour Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. It claims to be a demi-matte finish, but it definitely is a full matte finish. It's really ideal for oily skin. It's my favorite for my oily skin clients. And it has a really good coverage. It's really buildable. I would say it's medium to buildable unless you like take a lot on in the first application. Try it out on different skin types and just see what is best for you or what won't work for you. So moving on to the next foundation. I'm actually wearing this foundation today. I have owned this foundation longer than any other foundation. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless. I don't use it near enough as much as I should, but it does just kind of pour out. So if you don't like that about it, I don't know how you'll feel. It isn't like a squeeze tube or anything like that. You just pour it out. It doesn't have a spatula. So yeah, I think the packaging is pretty cute too. Like the fact that it's black, white, and teal. That's cute to me, and it's just like, it's kind of minimal. I think it's really pretty and really great for a drugstore foundation, especially for beginners, because I do believe that this is like around on the cheaper side of foundations as far as they go. It used to be. Moving on to my last drugstore foundation, I have the L'Oreal True Match Healthy Luminous Makeup. You guys know that I have used this. I use this pretty much in all of my previous YouTube makeup tutorials and all my beginning makeup YouTube tutorials. I basically lived in this because of Jaclyn Hill. YouTube made me buy it, Jaclyn Hill made me buy it, kind of thing. But this foundation truly is amazing. I decided that I wanted a more like dewy, luminous look when I started actually realizing my skin type was dry. This foundation really did it for me. The one that I bought before this was the True Match, and I didn't put that in here because that was never one of my holy grails. I bought it because of Jaclyn Hill, but I feel like my skin's a little too dry for it. Like, it just wasn't one of my favorite foundations. I just never really got into it. Not that it is bad or anything like that. It is a great foundation, and it is just great for other skin types. I just really, really am obsessed with this one. This is in the color C4 Shell Beige. And honestly, whether I'm like pale or have a tan, this is like my perfect medium color. Like, I can usually make it work no matter what, or I can just add a little, like, I add all kinds of foundations to this foundation because it is like my #1 go-to. The only thing is it does get a little bit creasy in my forehead if I don't set it really well. Moving on to my next foundation, this is the second high-end foundation I'd ever bought in my life. This is the Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Oil-Free Foundation. This packaging is like to die for. That's honestly kind of why I think I wanted it so badly. But this foundation ended up being one of my favorites because you can create such a light coverage with it, but still looks so pretty. And this is in the color Warm Nude. This again is like the absolute best color for me. It's a little bit lighter than the C4, I do believe. Or maybe it's a little bit darker. You can't really tell. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter than the Luminous, but it's still the perfect color for me, and you can just really create any kind of look you want, whether it's light, medium, or full coverage with this foundation. The next and last and my favoriteest foundation right now is this foundation I'm getting ready to show you guys, and honestly I use this on all of my clients. It comes in a matte and a luminous wear, which I think is freaking amazing. They both have the same amount of coverage. The luminous wear is pretty freaking luminous, so if it's like a more oily skinned client but I want a luminous look, I will mix 3 parts matte, 1 part luminous. etc. to make it work. And this is the Mary Kay Time Wise foundation. I am in beige 4. This is a little bit of a tanner foundation. They have ivory, beige, and bronze, and they have about 8 shades in each category. So that, more than 16 shade ranges, it's like, what, 34, 32 or something like that. That is awesome to me that they cater to so many skin tones. The only con I have to this is the off-putting smell. It is a very strong paint-like scent. It almost is as strong as the Wet n Wild Photo Finish foundation. Not quite, but almost, and around $20 or $22. So that concludes my top 5 favorite primers and foundations from the Drugstore and High-End. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is something out of the norm than what I do, but I already had my makeup done, and I filmed this look for you guys, and I just really wanted to do something else. I just wanted to make good use of this time, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!